Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing The Apprentice, directed by Ali Abbasi. So I've seen Abbasi's last two films, Border and Holy Spider, and I enjoyed them both very much. The first interesting thing is how different these three films are, Border, Holy Spider and The Apprentice. They are pretty much completely different genres. And I see that his previous film, Shelley, which I haven't seen, was a horror film. Abbasi is certainly showing that he's a versatile filmmaker. I'm very partial to a business, political drama, so I was very much expecting to like this. And I did. It's really well made. I love the aesthetic of it. It's filmed with a grainy 1970s TV series look. This is 1970s New York, grimy. The film really captures this. It's really great to look at. So it's all based on true events, and it does say this at the beginning. But it does say that some of it has been fictionalised, which is inevitable, I guess, for something like this. Jeremy Strong is amazing as Roy Cohn, the infamous lawyer. There are perhaps some similarities between this character and the Kendall Roy character that he played in Succession, but not once did I think of his Succession role. He was totally a different character. Sebastian Stan's portrayal of a young Trump was good too. There were a few times early on where it just didn't feel like Trump to me. As the film developed, there were some very clear Trumpisms. This probably is the point, of course. This is the point about Trump turning from a relatively green, ambitious, but basically honest person into the shrewd operator that he's become today. I think I was expecting to see the Trumpisms from the start, but this was probably a ridiculous expectation. What did work well was the chemistry between the two actors. I was really convinced by the growing friendship between the two. Despite the despicable modus operandi of these two men, they weren't presented wholly unsympathetically. There does seem to be an intimacy and a friendship between the men. That is, until Trump develops into the more unscrupulous, selfish Trump. Cohn successfully created this monster, and inevitably the apprentice casts aside his mentor. Although I did enjoy this film, it wasn't quite as entertaining as I thought it might be. Both Cohn and Trump have many things that could have been more aggressively or humorously portrayed. I had the feeling that the film was holding back somewhat from doing a complete hatchet job on either of them. I think it would have been more fun if it had done this. However, I do wonder about releasing a film like this 2 weeks before the US election, where Trump is standing again for president. I think that Trump is a despicable, dishonest man, and I really hope that he doesn't win the election. However, I'm not sure that it's completely fair to release a major feature film that contains elements that are fictionalised just before the election. There's something about this that just doesn't sit quite right with me. I'd have no problem if it was a documentary. It's the fictional bits that worry me. I'm sure the other way round, Trump would have no problem with a film about an opponent, but for me, this just doesn't justify it. Maybe this is why the film was toned down somewhat. Maybe this was the concession that was made. However, I would have preferred to see the more fun Hatchet Job released after the election. Overall, I did enjoy this film. It was definitely entertaining enough, and it looked great with fantastic acting. In some ways, I think it's a safer bet than the other two Abbasi films I've seen. These two films felt more original, more creative, but I do really like his filmmaking, and I'm looking forward to see what he does next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.